It really depends. Again, there are different types of definitions, but then the point is, what is important is how the team collectively agrees to the definition of done as one, and then how they commit to that. That's important. So there are different criteria again. So one of that criteria could be that the story at the story level, each story or each feature could actually be complete in terms of coding. Testing is done. Testing could be, again, unit testing done by the developer and the functional testing done by the testing team. And then it should meet the acceptance criteria. It should satisfy all of them, whatever is the given, when then the kind of Gherkin statements that we had already captured at the story level for each of the stories. So it should make all of them, it should complete and satisfy them. And then it should have a regression. Again, if you talk about regression testing, very critical for Agile, because we are at such a huge, fast pace that we tend to miss actually the big picture. So when we deliver this, for example, in this context of the mobile e-commerce website for selling mobile accessories, if we go ahead with the November release, we went ahead with that. We delivered the cart, we delivered the catalog page with the item list and the item details pages, the product details pages, right? And then after that, by February, we said we would have the next release coming up with the shopping cart functionality, when we can add the items there, and then you can change the items details, you can change the quantity of item, you can remove the thing from there, from the shopping cart. So all of this will be done by February is what we had agreed. So come, let's say January, we found that there are some things that went wrong with the catalog, how the item gets displayed in the catalog page, because we did something else to the other stories which are related to it. So when you try and deliver the shopping cart functionality, you should also check whether the catalog is working or not. You cannot ignore that. So when you deliver and deploy, when you deploy the code in the server in January for the shopping cart functionality, you should make sure that it is not going to have an impact on the already deployed code, already working code of the item details page and item list page. If it has some problem, then that's going to go kaput. You're actually not delivering incrementally. You're not actually building on the top of each other, but you're destroying whatever was working before, and you're introducing something else, right? So regression testing is actually a very important tool for that. So what does regression testing mean? It means that whatever you've actually done before, you must also make sure that it is working all right, that it does not have any impact because you're introducing a new feature. Just because you've got the new shopping cart as a new feature that you're deploying and releasing, it should not disturb, and it should not affect the already working functionality of the item details and list page. Similarly, by April, when you have completed the shopping cart and the catalog, when you're trying to have the payment processing, it should not have any impact. When you're paying by a credit card, that feature should not impact the already working features of the item list details page. You should only make sure that it is working better and better, not worse. So the regression testing for that one is, you should make sure all the item list page is working fine, item details pages are working fine, the photos are being shown fine. And when you click on the add to cart button, it is adding the item to the shopping cart. When you click on the checkout of the shopping cart, it's actually kind of taking you to the payment gateway or the provider's page. All of these should be working absolutely fine, just like how they were working before in the last 6-7 months. Just because you've introduced something new, it should not affect their working. So that's what is a regression testing. Very, very, very important for Agile working. Again, as important as automation testing. Regression testing, automation testing, very critical for success with Agile, because we've got such a short cycles of development. You're not really developing in 2 years, like in the waterfall we discussed. We're actually delivering things in like 2 weeks and 2 weeks period of time. So it's important we actually make sure that what you're delivering now is not going to impact what we have done in the last 3-4 sprints. So again, automation testing, regression testing, very critical for Agile success. And obviously, as we discuss the feature associated with the stories, it's ready to be deployed. Basically, what we're talking about is it is potentially shippable. So come November 30th, after the end of, let's say, 2 sprints or 3 sprints, I am now in a position to deploy the whole build on the live environment for my customers to see, right? So it is not ready by October 30th, that's fine, because that's the end of the sprint, only the first sprint. And the first sprint is still only talking about the item list and the item details, but it's not really talking about 3D view and things like that, adding the item to the cart. So that is going to happen next sprint. So by the end of 3 sprints like that, you're incrementing and you're adding the functionality, and then you're completing the whole set of catalog feature as a feature, which is ready now to be shown and shared with the customers. So by November end, after the end of these 3 sprints, you can actually deploy that in the server, and they can actually get, hey, you know what, now we've got this functionality ready, have a go with this beta site. So they can actually start doing the shopping with just those pages. But you can always say, obviously in the release plan, you can say, just hold on. At the moment, we're not really accepting the payment, online payments. Please call us on this number, or send an email with your cart. So you can actually create the cart, and then that page, you can actually say send mail. So that could actually be shared through the email to the sales team, and then say that I would like to actually make this, this is the item that I would like to have, send as an invoice, and we'll pay it through the bank transfer or the check or whatever, something else.